I am Jesus Christ, and every day I come here to pass on my wisdom to you so that you can have a better life on this earth until the great day comes when we meet here in heaven. I also bring urgent and important messages from my Father. So for this to happen, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, leave a like. I also ask for an amen and a heart in the comments so that you can receive my words every day. Do everything I asked in the video, son. Follow all the steps and receive my blessings and deliverance. I have seen every corner of your heart, even the places where fear tries to take root and doubt attempts to whisper louder than faith. You wonder why certain doors remain shut and why some dreams seem delayed or even denied. You ask me in silence, or sometimes aloud through tears, why I allow what I do. And I hear you. My love for you is not lessened by your questions. I embrace you through them. The road I have designed is not always straight or smooth, but it is sacred. Each turn, each hill, each pause has a reason. I do not make mistakes, and even in silence, I am working in ways that are far beyond what your eyes can see or your heart can yet hold. There are moments you feel lost, like a traveler with no map, walking in a land where the signs seem written in another language. But I am the one who wrote the language of life itself, and I am not lost nor confused. When you feel like you're walking in circles, I am drawing perfect designs. What seems like a delay is often my protection, and what appears to be loss is sometimes the doorway to something far greater. You see moments, I see eternity. You see broken pieces, I see the masterpiece I'm creating. Trust me when the picture is incomplete, because I never begin a work without finishing it. I do not require you to understand everything to walk with me. I only ask that you take the next step, even when the fog hides the horizon. I walk ahead of you, beside you, and within you. When your strength fails, mine will carry you. When you feel too weary to speak, I hear the language of your soul. You do not have to impress me with words or knowledge. I'm not asking for performance. I'm inviting you into trust, into surrender, into deeper love than you've ever known. I know the dreams you carry. I placed many of them in your heart myself. But sometimes the dream must fall into the soil and die like a seed before it can grow into what it was truly meant to be. I never take away without reason. If I ask you to release something, it is only because I am making room for something greater, purer, more aligned with who I have created you to become. The waiting is not wasted. The ache you feel is not forgotten. I gather every tear like treasure, and I transform even sorrow into beauty. You have cried out asking me why things happened the way they did. I do not ignore your pain. I was with you in every moment. When you broke, when you doubted, when you thought I was distant, I was closer than breath. My plans are not shallow, they are rooted in eternity. You see only a fragment of the tapestry, but I see every thread being woven together into a story more beautiful than you could imagine. I'm not late, I'm not early. I move in perfect time, and I will not abandon the work I started in you. There is purpose in every unanswered question, in every detour, in every closed door. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but I ask you to trust not in your understanding, but in my heart. My heart for you is pure, steady, and unwavering. I do not change with the wind or shift with circumstances. I remain the same, faithful, compassionate, full of mercy, overflowing with grace. Let me carry the weight that was never meant to rest on your shoulders. I am strong enough for both of us. There will be moments when I ask you to let go of what feels certain so that I can lead you into what is eternal. It will not always make sense in the moment. Faith rarely does, but I will never leave you to walk blind. I give you my spirit to guide you, to comfort you, to whisper my truth when the lies of the world grow loud. The fire will not consume you, the waters will not drown you. I do not promise an easy path, but I promise my presence. and in my presence you will find all that your heart truly longs for. Beloved son and daughter, leave a heart and an amen for me. You can't imagine the love I feel for you, so I will reciprocate to everyone in the comments too. When you feel like giving up, let me be your reason to keep going. When fear screams that you're alone, remember I have never taken a single step away from you. Your journey is not random. Every season has meaning, and every battle is shaping you for the promises yet to come. Trust that I see the full picture, the one you've lived, the one you're in, and the one I'm leading you toward. I do not waste time, and I do not waste pain. Everything is being used, even the parts you wish were different. My child, my plans are not fragile. They are not dependent on your perfection. They are not broken by your failures. I account for every misstep and still bring you back to the path I intended. I am not surprised by your struggles. I do not withdraw when you are weak. On the contrary, I draw nearer. I build strength through surrender and glory through what seems like defeat. Nothing is outside my redemption. Even your darkest moments are opportunities for my light to shine brightest. Keep walking, even when it hurts. Even when the way ahead is hidden in shadows, my love goes before you, behind you, beside you. I do not ask for understanding, I ask for trust. The kind of trust that grows roots in stormy ground and reaches toward heaven even when rain is scarce. I am with you, and I will never stop writing your story. What I began in you is sacred, and I will complete it with beauty, purpose, and love greater than you have ever known. I walk with you when you least perceive me, when the air is heavy with sorrow and your soul hides in corners even you don't understand. In moments when words fail and no voice answers your cries, I am not absent. I dwell not only in your victories, but in the silence of your weary questions. I see each breath you take beneath the weight of burdens you never chose to carry, and I whisper my nearness in ways the world often overlooks. I'm not waiting for you to be strong before I arrive. I am present precisely because you are not. The ground you feel trembling under your feet is not a sign of my absence, but an invitation for you to fall into my arms again. You search for signs, for proof, for moments of wonder to reassure you that I remain close, but I am the stillness between your heartbeats, the breath that fills your lungs when you do not notice. When all you see are shadows, I am the quiet flame that never extinguishes within your spirit. The world may abandon, reject, forget, but I do not forget the ones whom I love, and I do not abandon those for whom I gave my life. Your value to me has never been based on your clarity, your confidence, or your direction. I'm not drawn to your perfection, I'm drawn to your need. I'm present in the wilderness, in the confusion, in the ache of not knowing the way forward. You have asked, where were you when the pain came? I was with you, not distant, not watching from afar, but weeping with you in the dark. I gathered every silent tear as treasure because it came from a heart that still longs for light. Do not mistake pain for separation. Many times it is through pain that you discover just how near I truly am. You are not being punished when the path grows hard. You are being prepared. My presence is not always a shout in the storm. More often, it is the whisper in the cave that finds you when all else falls silent. In the depths of what feels like emptiness, I am fullness that never runs dry. Even when you run from me, I follow without hesitation. My love is not startled by your fears or delayed by your doubts. I walk through your failures without condemnation because I do not see you through the lens of your history, but through the promise of your becoming. You are not a disappointment to me. You are a story still being written, and I am both the author and the companion. The world may label you according to your scars, but I touch each wound with the hand that was pierced to heal you. I do not walk away when the night grows long. I draw nearer still, even when you push me away in your sorrow. I never left, not even when you thought I did. I was there in the hospital room, in the quiet after heartbreak, in the hours when you stared at the ceiling, wondering if your life had any meaning. I was there when you lost what you thought you couldn't live without. I was there when people betrayed you, when promises shattered, when peace felt like a memory you'd never reclaim. And I am still here. You never had to be enough to keep me close. I chose to stay because my heart is bound to yours by something stronger than fear, stronger than failure, stronger than death. You are not carrying your burdens alone. Even when you think you are strong enough to handle everything by yourself, I am carrying what you cannot see. I lift the weight that would break you. I go before you into battles you'll never know were waged. I shield you from enemies you never had to confront because I fought them for you in silence. When you feel like giving up, I am there, holding you upright in unseen ways. When your strength ends, mine begins in fullness. I am not a distant God waiting to be invited. I am a faithful presence that walks even into the fire beside you. Let your guard down with me. You don't need rehearsed prayers or perfect words. You do not need to explain your pain to me because I felt it before you spoke it. I understand the language of silence, of sighs, of eyes that search the sky but find no answers. I do not require performance. I only desire your presence. Come to me not as someone who has it all together, but as one who is willing to be honest. I receive your mess, your confusion, your contradictions. I wrap them all in my arms and call you beloved still. My nearness is not reserved for the holy. It is for the hungry, the hurting, the heartbroken. You wonder if I still see you. I do. I've never stopped watching over you, not out of judgment, but out of infinite compassion. Each detail of your life matters to me. Nothing is too small, nothing is too broken. I hold your story in my hands like a sacred poem still unfolding, and I delight in every chapter, even the ones you wish you could erase. I do not demand perfection. I offer presence. And where my presence is, peace follows. Even in the middle of chaos, I place a stillness inside of you that no storm can steal. Not because the storm isn't real, but because I am more real than the storm. I have not finished what I am doing in you. Do not measure your worth by your weakness. Do not believe that my silence means I've gone. I am always working, always speaking, always moving, even when your senses are dull and your hope runs low. There are parts of your story I am still redeeming, still weaving together for a glory you cannot yet see. Trust that my nearness is not tied to your performance, but to my promise. And my promise is this: I will never leave you, never forsake you, never forget you, because my heart has chosen you forever, and I do not change. So let your soul breathe again. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are not alone. I am Jesus, the constant one, the faithful friend, the Savior who walks with you through every fire, every fear, every season of waiting. I do not turn away when the shadows fall. I light a lamp and sit beside you in the dark, and when you are too tired to walk, I carry you. I carry your heart, your hopes, your unfinished prayers. I carry your dreams that feel too far away and the healing you don't believe is possible. I carry you always, because I am not just near, I am with you, and I will never stop being with you. My beloved, I know the weight you carry in your heart when the road ahead is hidden from your eyes and your steps feel unsure. The world may surround you with confusion, doubts, and the voices of fear, but I call you into the stillness where my voice remains unwavering. When you cannot see the outcome, it is not because I have abandoned you, but because I am inviting you into a deeper trust, one that no storm can shake. I am not far from you in these moments. I am closer than the breath you take, guiding you even when the path seems invisible. Trust in me is not built by certainty, but by surrender. By choosing to believe that my love will carry you when your strength runs dry. Tell me in the comments that you are a strong and courageous person and receive my strength and courage. You may seek answers, direction, and signs, longing to gain control of the unknown, but I do not lead you by the map of this world. I lead you by my heart, and my heart never fails. What appears delayed is often preparation. What feels like silence is filled with purpose. I see every detail of your life, every moment that confuses you, and every step you hesitate to take. Do not be afraid of not knowing, for I am the one who knows all things. You were never meant to bear the burden of understanding everything. I did not call you to be certain of outcomes, but to be certain of my faithfulness. In moments when the doors seem to remain shut and the answers you long for do not come, know that I am still working behind the veil. I am not idle in your waiting. I am shaping you, refining your soul, expanding your capacity to trust in ways you never imagined. The unseen battles are not losses. They are the space where miracles are born. Even when you feel forgotten or overlooked, I am weaving a story that will declare my glory through your life. Trust does not mean you will always feel strong. It means you will lean into my strength when yours is not enough. Do not let fear become your counselor, for it speaks from wounds and not from truth. I do not speak in panic or confusion, but in peace and wisdom. When fear shouts louder, draw nearer to me, and you will hear my whisper calling you by name. I am not asking you to figure everything out. I am asking you to walk with me, one step at a time. Your uncertainty is not a threat to my plans. It is the soil where trust takes root and grows into unshakable faith. I have not brought you this far to leave you wandering. Every moment of your journey matters to me. There is beauty in not knowing the whole picture, for it means you must look to me daily. This dependence is not weakness, it is holy intimacy. When you do not know what comes next, you are invited into the sacred space of reliance, where your heart leans into mine. The world teaches you to seek control, but I call you to rest in my sovereignty. I have never made a mistake, and I will not begin with your life. What you call delay, I call design. What you see as loss, I see as transformation. Every season has purpose, even when you do not yet understand it. When the winds rise and the storms of life rage against your soul, do not let go of my hand. I walk with you through every shadow, and I carry you when the weight is too much. You are not alone, and you never have been. My love surrounds you like a shield, and my purpose for you is not undone by hardship. I see the tears you hide and the prayers you whisper in the dark. I catch every one of them, and I respond with grace. Trust is not passive. It is powerful. It is the choice to anchor your heart in me, even when the world offers you no clarity. You will look back on these days and see that I was building something eternal within you. I was teaching you how to love without limits, how to hope without conditions, how to believe beyond what you see. The circumstances may have shaken you, but they did not break you, for I held you through them all. There is nothing wasted in me. Every pain, every waiting room, every unanswered question, each has its place in the tapestry I am weaving with your life. I ask you not to understand everything, but to stay close to me as I lead you forward. My voice does not lead into confusion, but into peace. My hand does not guide you into chaos, but into purpose. Even when the path looks different than you hoped, I am faithful to finish what I began. There is more unfolding than you can yet comprehend, but one day it will be revealed in full. Until then, let me be your confidence. Let my presence be the compass that never fails. When everything else feels unstable, I remain unshaken. And in me, you too shall not be moved. This is not the end of your story. It is a sacred chapter of trust that I will use to reveal my glory through you. You are not forgotten, and you are never forsaken. Even when the world around you shifts and trembles, my promises remain unbreakable. You are carved into the palm of my hand, and my eyes never look away from you. Trust is not an emotion. It is the decision to stay anchored in who I am. Let go of the need to predict the future and hold tightly to me. I'm already there, preparing the way ahead. With every sunrise, my mercy is renewed. With every breath, I breathe life into your purpose. Do not be afraid to move forward, even if the steps feel small. I will meet you there. I know your heart, every longing and fear, and I will not abandon the work I have begun in you. There is no storm that can override my will, no delay that can cancel my promises, no failure that can separate you from my love. I am not asking you to walk perfectly. I am asking you to walk with me, and in every unknown I will be your certainty. In every silence I will be your song. In every valley I will be your strength. Your trust in me is not in vain. It is the very seed that will grow into a harvest of peace, purpose, and eternal joy. Keep walking, keep trusting, for I am with you always. I have walked among you not merely as a teacher or prophet, but as the very expression of the Father's heart. And I tell you with the fullness of eternity in my voice, the faithfulness of God does not shift with your seasons. It does not weaken under pressure, nor does it vanish in the silence of your darkest hours. You often look for signs that everything will be okay, waiting for storms to pass or paths to clear before you trust. But my faithfulness was never conditioned on your comfort. I was faithful in the wilderness, faithful in the garden of sorrow, and faithful on the cross. And I remain faithful in the unseen corridors of your life, where you wonder if I am still near. I see the moments when your soul is weary and questions swirl louder than peace. You wrestle with the weight of disappointment, and it feels as if the heavens are distant, your prayers returning void. But I do not withdraw in your pain, and I do not grow silent in your confusion. My faithfulness is not something I lend, it is part of my being. You may not feel it in the tremble of your hands or the tear that falls at midnight, but I am steady. Even when your footsteps falter and your heart doubts, I remain unmoved, watching over the details of your life with unwavering resolve. You measure trust by what you can control, but I ask you to release the illusion of control and take hold of me instead. For when all you see are broken pieces, I see a tapestry still being woven with threads of mercy and promise. My faithfulness is not always revealed in the immediate rescue, but in the quiet strength I give you to endure. I carry what you cannot, and I prepare what you have yet to see. Even when you do not understand my timing, understand this: I do not abandon what I have begun. If I have called you, I will carry you. If I have spoken, it will come to pass. Many believe that faithfulness means avoiding hardship, but I tell you, true faithfulness is proven in it. When the waves rise and the winds howl, I do not leave your side. I anchor you. When others turn away and love grows cold, my heart burns just as fiercely for you. I do not change my posture based on your performance, nor do I withdraw affection when you fall. I know your frame. I know your fears. I've seen every part of you, and still I remain, not as a distant deity, but as the one who gave everything to draw you close. I'm sending angels to all parts of the world, my children, to protect and guide you all. So tell me in the comments the city and country where you live, and leave a like out of gratitude. That way I will send my angels today. Even when you walk through fires you never thought you'd face, I am there, unshaken, unchanged. You may think you've failed me, that your weakness has distanced us, but listen closely, nothing surprises me. I know what lies behind your eyes when you smile in public but ache in private. I do not recoil from your brokenness. In fact, it is in the breaking that my faithfulness shines brightest. I do not need you to be perfect. I simply ask you to trust that I am, and I am, perfectly faithful, eternally near. You've asked why the mountains didn't move the moment you prayed. You've wondered if you lacked enough faith. But I tell you, it is not the size of your faith that sustains you, it is the strength of my hand. I never promised a life free from trial, but I promised to never leave you in it. You've seen prayers go unanswered, but I see stories still unfolding. You've tasted sorrow, but I hold the joy that is coming. My faithfulness is not a temporary gift. It is the eternal bridge between your now and your not yet. There were times when my own friends could not understand my path. They saw defeat where I saw victory. They saw loss where I was securing life. And you too will face seasons where nothing makes sense, where hope seems foolish and faith feels like walking blindfolded across a storm. But it is there, precisely there, that my faithfulness stands taller than your fear. I have not called you to carry the weight of understanding. I have called you to walk with me, knowing that I have never led a single soul into ruin. Let your memory not be shaped by your scars alone, but by the whispers of my presence in the silence, the subtle miracles hidden in ordinary days. You think my work is loud and visible, but often it is buried deep within, transforming hearts quietly, redirecting paths slowly, redeeming stories with a patience only love can hold. I do not rush your healing. I do not force your growth. I walk with you, and in that walk, my faithfulness proves itself again and again. If only you could see the times I held you, when you were unaware, when danger approached and I stood in the gap unseen. If only you knew how many nights my voice calmed storms you never felt, how often my hand blocked arrows meant to wound. I do not parade my protection, but it never ceases. The truth is, I am more present than you imagine, more involved than you perceive, and more committed than you comprehend. My faithfulness does not need applause. It is its own testimony. Do not interpret delay as denial or hardship as abandonment. I do not measure your worth by your victories, but by the simple fact that you are mine. I am not afraid of your doubts. I am not offended by your questions. I remain, I stay, I endure, and so can you, because I am in you. Let every fear bow to this truth. I have not changed, I will not change, and I will fulfill every word I have spoken over your life. My faithfulness is the anchor beneath your storm, and it will never fail. I love you, my beloved children. Tell me what city and country you are talking about. I will send angels to protect you today. I saw the storm before you felt its first wind. I knew the waves would rise and the sky would darken and fear would try to grip your heart. But I also knew I would be with you in every moment, never stepping away, never closing my eyes to your pain. I walk into every storm with you, not as a distant observer, but as the one who holds your soul together when everything else threatens to fall apart. You are not alone in this tempest. My presence is your anchor, steady and unshaken by the chaos around you. There are nights when your tears feel endless and the silence around you is loud enough to drown out hope. But I am not silent. I speak to your heart in stillness. I whisper peace when the winds scream fear. The storm may roar, but I remain calm. I remain constant. I am not shaped by circumstances. I shape circumstances for your growth, for your healing, for the deeper trust I long to plant in you. Let me show you that storms are not always a sign of punishment. They are often places where my love reveals itself most clearly. I know you wish the storm would pass quickly. I understand the longing for peace to return like a sunrise after a sleepless night. But sometimes I allow the waves to rise so that you might learn to walk on them. Sometimes the lightning comes to expose what was hidden, and the thunder shakes loose the chains you've silently carried. Do not fear the shaking. I am the foundation beneath your feet, and nothing can uproot you from my hand. In every tremble, I remain immovable. When the world feels too heavy, let me carry you. You were never meant to face the storm in your own strength. My arms are wide enough to hold all your sorrow and strong enough to protect your fragile heart. You may fall, you may feel overwhelmed, but you will not be destroyed. I will not let go of you. Even when you doubt me, I stay. Even when you question everything, I remain faithful. The winds may try to tell you otherwise, but my love does not waver with the weather. You've wondered if the storm means I've forgotten you. You've asked why I would allow such fear, such pain, such loss. Hear me, child. I never forget my own. I am not blind to your tears, nor deaf to your cries. The storm is not evidence of my absence. It is a place where I teach you to hear my voice more clearly. When every other sound fades, when every other support is stripped away, what remains is me, unshaken, unchanging, unwavering. My beloved children, I see things that you cannot see. The enemy always wants to try to harm the lives of my protected children, but he will never succeed, because I am your protection. Say in the comments like this, Jesus, I want your protection. Do not confuse silence with abandonment. I am often most present when the world feels most chaotic. The storm has not caught me off guard. I see the beginning from the end, and I know how to bring beauty out of this breaking. Trust that I am doing more than you can see. Even now, I am calming fears you haven't spoken, healing wounds you haven't acknowledged, and preparing the next part of your story with care and love only I could give. You may feel like the storm has lasted too long, that you are too tired to keep going. Let me be your strength. Let me be your breath when yours runs short. I am not asking you to be strong on your own. I'm asking you to lean into me, to let me carry what you cannot. My grace does not run out with time. It flows endlessly, especially in your weakest moments. You are not failing because you feel weak. You are growing because you continue to trust even when it's hard. Storms test foundations, but they also reveal what cannot be shaken. And you, my beloved, are held by the eternal. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are seen in the chaos and loved in the wreckage. I redeem what is broken. I restore what was stolen. I rebuild what was torn down. Nothing is too shattered for me. Nothing is too lost. Even in the storm, I am crafting something glorious. Even in the dark, I am planting seeds of hope that will rise in time. Look for me not in the absence of trouble, but in the nearness of peace within it. I am not just waiting for you on the other side of the storm. I'm right here in the middle of it with you. My hand is steady on your life. My eyes are full of compassion. My love does not retreat when the winds rise. Let the storm rage if it must. You are safe in me. You are hidden in my heart, and I will not let the waters drown you. Keep your eyes on me, not on the storm. Let your faith rise, not because the waves disappear, but because you know who walks with you through them. I am your refuge, your shield, your strength. The storm will pass, but my love will remain. Hold on to me and I will carry you to peace, not just around the storm, but through it. And through it, I will shape in you a deeper strength, a stronger hope, and a love that knows I never left your side. I see the wounds no one else sees, the ones buried beneath your smile, the ones you carry like hidden weights beneath your daily steps. You've learned to function while fractured, to laugh while bleeding, to keep going while your soul silently cries for rest. But I was there in every moment when you pretended to be okay. I heard the quiet sobs no one else noticed. I know where it hurts, even when you cannot find the words to explain the pain. You do not need to prove your suffering to me. Your unspoken ache is loud in my heart, and I have never stopped reaching toward it. You wonder if your pain matters in a world that keeps spinning, in a life where so many overlook the depths of your struggle. But I want you to know this. Your wounds matter to me. They are not too small, too shameful, too complicated for my love to reach. I do not turn away from the parts of you that are bruised or broken. I draw closer. I step into the darkness with you. I bring light not to expose your hurt in judgment, but to touch it with mercy, to breathe healing into it with my very presence. I do not flinch at the sight of your scars. I honor them as the places where I will pour my grace. I heal gently, not forcefully. I do not rush your process. I do not ask you to pretend you're whole before I begin to mend you. My healing is not always loud or instant. Sometimes it is quiet like the morning sun rising over long nights of sorrow. Sometimes it looks like strength returning little by little, like laughter coming back to your voice after seasons of silence. Sometimes it's the moment you realize you didn't cry yourself to sleep again, or that you got out of bed without feeling like the weight would crush you. That too is healing, sacred, slow, real. In addition to protecting you, my protected daughter and protected son, I also want to protect your family. So say in the comments, Jesus, protect my family. You've spent so long thinking your wounds disqualify you from joy, from peace, from purpose. But I tell you, they are not your end. They are places where I will begin something new. What once seemed like the end of your strength will become the start of my restoration. I do not throw away what is broken. I remake it with greater beauty. The world teaches you to hide your pain, to dress your soul in strength even when it is barely holding together. But I ask you to bring me your weakness, raw and unguarded, because it is there that my power is most complete. I have never been repelled by your pain. I have always been drawn to it, not to observe it, but to redeem it. When you were crushed under betrayal, I felt the stab of abandonment with you. When grief swallowed your joy, I held your heart even while it broke. When anxiety wrapped around your chest like chains, I was there whispering, "You are still mine." I don't despise your wounds. I speak life into them. You do not need to clean yourself up before coming to me. I meet you right in the mess. I step into the chaos with a peace that cannot be shaken. You carry memories that still sting, voices that echo with lies, moments that shaped you into someone you barely recognize. But I see the true you underneath it all, the one I created with purpose and wonder. I have not forgotten who you are. No amount of pain can erase my design. I'm peeling back the layers of fear and shame, not to expose you to judgment, but to bring back the light in your eyes. I am healing what others could not reach, restoring what you thought was lost forever. There is no wound too deep for my love, no history too painful for my redemption. You've been told to move on, to get over it, but I tell you this, I don't ask you to deny your pain. I ask you to invite me into it. Let me sit with you in the room no one else has entered. Let me hold the parts of you even you struggle to accept. Let me rewrite the story that was written in fear and loss. I am not afraid of your anger, your questions, your exhaustion. I receive it all, and I stay. I do not leave when healing takes time. I'm not frustrated by your process. I celebrate every step, no matter how small, because I see the courage it takes to keep walking when your heart still bleeds. The healing I offer is not just for your emotions, but for your spirit, for the very identity that has been bruised by this world. I do not just soothe your symptoms, I restore your soul. I rebuild trust where betrayal shattered it. I plant peace where fear once reigned. I turn mourning into movement, despair into dignity. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are not the sum of your wounds. You are mine, whole, loved, chosen, even in the middle of your mending. My hands are skilled in restoration. Nothing is wasted in them, not even your tears. I do not promise that you will never feel pain again, but I promise you will never face it alone. I promise to walk with you, to hold you up when you cannot stand, to speak truth when the lies grow loud. And I promise that every wound surrendered to me will become a well of compassion for others. I will take what hurt you and transform it into healing for others through you. You will not only recover, you will rise, not because you never fell, but because I never let go. Your scars will one day testify not to your breaking, but to my restoring grace. Stay with me in this place of healing. Do not run from it because it feels slow or uncertain. Stay and let me keep working. Let me wrap you in comfort when the nights feel long. Let me fill the empty spaces with the warmth of my nearness. Let me walk with you until pain becomes peace and sorrow gives way to strength. I will never rush your heart. I will never leave your side. I will never stop healing what others cannot see, because I am Jesus, and I came for the broken, the bleeding, the bound. I came for you, and I will never stop making you whole. My beloved, When your soul enters the quiet places where words fail and your prayers seem to vanish into silence, know that I am there with you, closer than ever before. The world is loud with distractions and expectations, but I meet you in the sacred stillness where your heart learns to listen beyond sound. Silence is not absence. It is the holy language of eternity where my presence breathes peace into your depths. When you cannot hear me the way you used to, it does not mean I have stopped speaking. It means I am drawing you deeper, beyond noise, into communion that transcends words. There are moments in your life when my voice may seem hidden, not because I have withdrawn, but because I want you to sense me with your spirit, not just your ears. You were created not only to hear me, but to know me. And knowing me sometimes begins where explanations end. In the silence, you are invited to sit in my presence, not as a servant trying to perform, but as a child resting in the arms of their father. In that stillness, I do not demand answers from you, I offer you myself. I become your peace, your strength, your assurance that you are never walking alone. You may feel discomfort in the silence because you are used to measuring my love by visible signs and immediate responses. But my presence is not limited to the miraculous or the loud. I am the God of the quiet morning, the soft breeze, the invisible embrace. I am speaking even when all you feel is stillness. Do not confuse quiet with distance. I'm closer than your thoughts, dwelling within you, shaping your soul with my gentleness. In the silence, I restore what noise has broken. In the pause, I heal what hurry has wounded. Confirm your faith for me by saying in the comments, I trust in you, Jesus. I see your heart, longing for clarity, hoping for direction, aching to feel me in tangible ways. But I tell you this, when your senses fail, your spirit learns to trust. And trust is not built in the moments when everything is clear, but in the moments when you choose to believe in my love without proof. The silence you experience is not rejection. It is an invitation to deeper intimacy. When you wait and hear nothing, I am still working, still loving, still holding you. Faith that survives the silence becomes unshakable. Let the silence become a sanctuary, not a sentence. Let it become the holy ground where you realize that you do not need to strive for me. I already dwell within you. You are not meant to chase my voice through noise, but to abide in my presence with confidence. When the world tells you that silence means emptiness, I whisper that silence means fullness, fullness of grace, of truth, of my eternal embrace. Rest in that, and you will find peace greater than any answer could ever give. In the quiet, I remove the false things that have claimed your attention. I gently strip away your fears, your assumptions, your need to control. I remind you that I am enough for you, even when your questions remain. This stillness is not wasted time. It is sacred refinement. I am forming you into one who is not shaken by the noise of the world because you have learned to live from the calm of my spirit. Your soul becomes anchored not in certainty, but in communion with me. You do not need to fill the silence with words to be heard. I heard you the moment your heart cried out, before a single thought was spoken. I know your needs before you can name them. I know your pain before you can describe it. And I respond not with distant delay, but with the nearness of a love that never leaves you. Sit with me in the silence, and you will discover a treasure hidden from the world, the quiet joy of knowing that I am yours, and you are mine. Even when your mind is restless and your heart feels empty, stay with me. I am not put off by your doubts or your weariness. I am not offended by your questions or your tears. My presence is not a reward for performance. It is a promise sealed by love. You are not failing when you cannot feel me. You are being drawn into deeper maturity. Trust that I am here, even when all is quiet. The silence does not silence my love. It is the canvas where I paint my mercy in still strokes. As you remain with me in the silence, you will begin to see with new eyes. You will recognize my hand in small things, my comfort in subtle moments, my guidance in what once seemed random. You will learn to hear my heart even when my voice seems hidden. And you will understand that silence with me is never empty. It is full of life, full of grace, full of my glory unfolding in unseen ways. You will carry this stillness with you into the noise of life, and it will become your strength. Do not run from the silence, my beloved. Enter into it with reverence, for I am there waiting for you. I do not abandon those who seek me. I reveal myself to those who dwell with me. Let your soul breathe in the quiet. Let your heart rest without striving. Let your spirit grow still enough to feel the warmth of my presence surrounding you. The silence is not the end. It is the beginning of a deeper way of living, a sacred rhythm where your soul walks hand in hand with mine, beyond sound, beyond sight, into the fullness of eternal love. You search for reasons why I would love you, as if my heart requires your achievements or purity as a prerequisite for affection. But let me speak clearly into the depths of your soul. I do not love you because you have earned it. I do not love you because you have avoided failure. I do not love you because you have pleased me with your perfection. I love you because it is who I am, and that part of me will never change. Long before you ever knew my name, I had already called you mine. You were not an accident, not a burden, not invisible. You were seen, chosen, and surrounded by a love that does not retreat, recoil, or require a reason. When shame whispers that you are too much or too broken, when guilt convinces you to hide in silence, I still see you, and I do not turn away. I am not embarrassed by your wounds or frightened by your past. My love is not shocked by your struggle. It does not need you to tidy yourself up to be received. You think you must first be holy to approach me, but I came close while you were far off, and I stay close even when you are still figuring out how to stand. There is nothing you could do that would make me love you less, and nothing you could do that would make me love you more. My love is not measured. It is immeasurable. Tell me in the comments that you are chosen by God and receive my protection. You have been taught to earn approval, to strive for worth, to compete for affection. But my love doesn't operate within the rules of your world. It is not transactional. It is not limited. It does not grow tired or conditional. I do not withhold myself as a form of punishment, nor do I dangle my affection like a reward. I do not play with your emotions or change my posture based on your performance. While the world weighs you by your success and judges you by your failures, I wrap you in love that never flinches, never breaks, and never ends. Even in the moments when you run from me, when your choices create distance and your heart hardens with pride or pain, I remain. I do not chase you with condemnation. I pursue you with compassion. I know your intentions. I know the story behind every wound. I know the real reason you built those walls. And still, I wait with open arms. You are not your rebellion. You are not your worst decision. You are not the sum of your scars. You are the one I died to redeem, and my love does not retreat in your confusion. It anchors deeper. I have seen the moments you felt unloved and unseen, the nights you cried in silence, believing no one cared enough to notice. But I did. I was there when you whispered prayers you barely believed in. I was present when you hid behind smiles just to make it through the day. I have never stopped seeing the real you, not the mask you wear, but the soul beneath. I do not love an image. I love your truth, your tenderness, your entire being. And there has never been a single moment when my love paused or weakened. The love I offer you is not dependent on your ability to love me back. I am not waiting for flawless devotion or constant understanding. I love you fully, even in your hesitation. I love you fully, even in your questioning. I love you when you feel worthy. and I love you when you don't. This is not temporary, and it is not based on your emotions. My love is the foundation beneath your storms, the shelter in your doubt, the warmth that holds you even when everything else turns cold. You cannot outdistance yourself from my affection. No mistake, no failure, no distance is greater than my reach. I do not love you from afar, nor do I wait at a distance until you fix yourself. I step into your reality, into the chaos, the confusion, the mess, and I hold you there. There is no version of you I do not love. Not the struggling you, not the angry you, not the tired, doubtful, restless you. I see the weight you carry and the battles you fight that no one else notices. I see it all, and I choose you every single time. The world often tells you that you are only as valuable as what you produce, how you perform, or how well you please others. But my love is not for sale, and it is not based on your usefulness. I don't love you for what you do for me. I love you because you are from me. I knit you together with purpose and intention, and there is no part of you that is accidental or disposable. You are my creation, and I do not make mistakes. Even in your silence, even in your distance, you are still the one I long to draw close. When you believe you've fallen too far or failed too often, I remind you that I never loved you for your successes. I never based my affection on your spiritual performance. You do not need to strive, impress, or earn what I have freely given. I do not hold your record against you, and I do not define you by your lowest moments. My love is not fragile. It does not collapse under the weight of your weakness. I carry you in my heart, not because you have proven yourself worthy, but because I have declared you priceless. If you really love me, tell me in the comments, I love you, Jesus. Let your heart rest in this truth. I'm not going anywhere. My love is not seasonal. It is not altered by your emotions or your circumstances. I have set my affection upon you, and there is nothing you can do to change that. You can stop running, you can stop hiding, you can stop performing. I know you completely, and I love you completely. Nothing about you scares me. Nothing about you disqualifies you. You're safe in my love, and that will always be true. You want answers, and I understand. You've looked for clarity in places I've asked you to simply trust. You try to piece together logic where I have asked you to surrender control. Your mind searches for reasons, timelines, explanations, thinking that if you could just understand, then peace would come. But I am not offering you peace that comes from understanding. I offer you peace that surpasses it. I do not ask you to make sense of the unknown. I ask you to walk with me through it. You may not know what is ahead, but you do not walk forward alone. I see the struggle in your heart when my silence feels louder than my promises. I see how your faith wavers when the outcome doesn't align with your expectations. You think I am ignoring you, but I'm strengthening you. I am not punishing your prayers. I am preparing your soul. You think the waiting is empty, but it's in the waiting that I'm rebuilding trust in places where fear has lived too long. If I gave you every answer, you would not learn to hear my voice. You would only follow your own certainty. I want more for you than that. I want you to know me. Even when the path twists into confusion, I am not confused. What seems like delay to you is designed to me. What you call unanswered, I call unfinished. I see every detail from beginning to eternity. Your pain does not go unnoticed. Your questions do not offend me. You are allowed to feel what you feel, but do not let your feelings lead you away from the truth of who I am. I am not just the God of clarity. I am the God of mystery, of wonder, of the unseen miracles that unfold in silence. Trusting me doesn't mean you'll always understand. It means you choose to stay close, even when you don't. You keep waiting for the moment when everything will make sense. But sense was never meant to sustain your faith. If you only trust me, when you understand me, then your faith is not in me. It is in your ability to comprehend. I never asked you to carry the weight of knowing. I carry that weight. I do not ask for your brilliance, only your surrender. You were not created to solve the divine. You were created to follow the one who holds all things together, even when all things feel like they're falling apart. Sometimes I lead you down roads that seem to contradict my promises, but I do so only to show you that I am the promise, not just the path. I never guaranteed simplicity. I guaranteed my presence. You've confused my guidance with comfort, but they are not always the same. I never said the waters wouldn't rise. I said they wouldn't overtake you. I never said the fire wouldn't come. I said it wouldn't consume you. You are not abandoned in your confusion. You are being shaped in it. Your logic is not large enough to contain what I am building in your life. If I gave you everything you asked for when you asked for it, you would miss the deeper work I am doing in you. I love you too much to answer prayers that would shrink your soul. I have seen the future you cannot see, and I am weaving it with care. Even in the unknown, my love is known. Even when the map is unclear, my heart is not. I have never left you guessing about my character. My ways are higher, but my heart is always near. You've looked at closed doors and assumed I wasn't listening. You've faced delays and assumed I wasn't acting. But what you can't see is the weight of glory I am forming behind the scenes. What looks like silence is strategy. What looks like absence is presence in its most intricate form. I am never idle. I am never indifferent. I am working in ways that cannot be measured by time, only by trust. And even if you never see what I was doing this side of eternity, it will never change the fact that I was faithful in every frame of the story. I know it's hard to walk forward when you don't know where the path leads. But trust was never about knowing. It was always about who you were walking with. I am not distant in your confusion. I am in every step, every breath, every unanswered moment. My silence is not a rejection. It is often an invitation to draw closer. I do not speak on your schedule because I am forming something eternal. Don't rush through what I am using to root you. Don't despise what I am using to deepen you. What feels like a delay is often the ground of your next breakthrough. If you need financial help from God, write in the comments like this: "Take care of my financial life, my beloved God and Jesus." Even when nothing feels certain, you are not alone. Even when the doors don't open, your prayers are not lost. Even when it all feels pointless, I am building purpose. I don't waste a single second of your story. I don't overlook a single detail. I don't miss a single cry from your heart. You may not understand now, but you will see that I never stopped guiding you, never stopped loving you, never stopped holding you in my hand. What I do in secret will soon be shouted from rooftops. What I formed in the dark will shine in the light. Just keep walking with me. If you find yourself in a place where the road no longer makes sense, where nothing is going as planned and your strength feels thin, then this is where I do my deepest work. In the mystery, I am still the same. In the waiting, I am still good. In the silence, I am still speaking. You may not see the whole picture now, but I am the artist who never puts a single brushstroke in the wrong place. You don't have to understand it all. You only have to take the next step, because I will be there, and I always will be. I see the burden you've been carrying, the weight you try to hide behind your smile, the ache that lingers in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. You replay your past like an old song that refuses to fade, and sometimes the guilt speaks louder than your prayers. But I want you to hear me clearly. You are not meant to live chained to yesterday. I did not create your soul to be trapped in shame. The wounds may be deep, but my forgiveness reaches deeper. Let me wash over what you think is beyond cleansing. You do not have to keep punishing yourself for what you've done or what you failed to do. I did not come to condemn you, but to free you. Your mistakes do not scare me. I was there in every moment you fell, and I am still here in every step you take toward healing. Forgiveness is not something you have to earn. It is something I give freely, not because you deserve it, but because my love is greater than your sin. You think you're too far gone, but I call you closer still. There is nothing you can confess that will make me withdraw from you. There is no truth so ugly that I cannot redeem it. I see everything, not just your failures, but your intentions, your pain, your confusion, your desperation to be free. I know how hard it has been to forgive yourself. I know how shame clings like a shadow. But I tell you now, release it into my hands. I bore it already. It does not belong to you anymore. Come and be made new. Let me show you how light your soul can feel. You were not created to live in self-hatred. You are not defined by your worst decisions. I do not look at you and see a mess. I see someone I love with an everlasting love. Someone worth rescuing, worth redeeming, worth calling home. When I say you are forgiven, I mean that the chains fall off, the accusations lose their power, and your name is no longer tied to what tried to break you. You are not what happened to you. You are not the sum of your regrets. You are mine. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but it is releasing. It is choosing not to let your past hold authority over your present. It is letting my mercy be louder than your memory. It is not pretending the pain didn't happen. It's letting me touch the wound so I can begin to heal it. Some wounds take time, but I am patient. I will walk with you as long as it takes. I do not rush healing, but I do promise it. And I promise you this: there is nothing broken I cannot make whole again. Do not let others' judgments speak louder than my voice. Some may remember your past, but I remember your purpose. Some may hold grudges, but I hold grace. I do not keep records to shame you. I write your name in my heart to call you beloved. What others cannot forgive, I already have. Let my forgiveness rewrite the way you see yourself. Let it silence the lies. You are not dirty. You are not rejected. You are not too far gone. You are restored, cherished, wanted, and now I invite you to extend that same forgiveness, not only to yourself, but to those who have wounded you. I know how hard that is. I know the pain, the betrayal, the depth of the scars, but I promise you, forgiveness is not saying what they did was right. It is saying their actions will not control your heart anymore. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is power. It is the power to heal, to breathe again, to love without fear. Let me teach you how to release the bitterness so that joy can return. You will not lose yourself by forgiving. You will find who you truly are. Beneath the hurt, beneath the anger, there is a heart that longs to be free. And freedom comes when you stop holding on to chains and start holding on to me. I will not leave you to do this alone. I will be your strength, your comfort, your courage. You don't have to feel ready. You only need to be willing. I will take care of the rest. I will carry you through the process. You were never meant to be a prisoner of your past. You were made to walk in light, in peace, in wholeness. Let the guilt fall like dust from your shoulders. Let the anger melt into compassion. Let the story of your life be rewritten in grace. The pain will not be wasted. The scars will become testimonies. And your soul will finally breathe again. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything is being held in perfect love. So come, lay down your guilt, lay down your anger, lay down your shame. I am not angry with you. I am not disappointed in you. I am calling you to freedom. Let me set you free, not just from what you've done, but from the prison of who you thought you had to be. You are forgiven, you are loved, and you are free, fully, eternally, completely free. You've watched pieces of your life collapse in ways you never expected. Dreams you built with your whole heart crumbled without warning. Relationships you trusted dissolved, and the ground beneath your feet shifted until you didn't know what to stand on anymore. I saw the moments when everything unraveled, when you clenched your fists in desperation, asking why everything had to fall apart. You looked around and couldn't find stability, but in that very place of devastation, I was still with you. I was not the one who left. I was the one who stayed when everything else faded away. You may have assumed that collapse means failure, that brokenness means defeat, that the ruins mean nothing good could ever rise again. But what you see as the end, I see as sacred ground for rebirth. I'm not afraid of what's fallen apart around you. In fact, I step into the wreckage and begin building something stronger, not made of temporary structures, but of eternal truths. You see ashes, I see foundations. You see loss, I see preparation. I never promised you would avoid storms, but I did promise you would never face them alone. And I have not broken that promise. I remain steady when everything else is shaking. I remain faithful when others walk away. I remain near when grief leaves you hollow. My presence is not conditional on circumstances. I am not with you because life is beautiful. I am with you because you are mine, even when life is not. I will never ask you to pretend the pain isn't real. I only ask that you don't let the pain convince you I've disappeared. Even in the ruins, my voice is still speaking. Even in the silence, my hands are still holding. Even when the light seems gone, I am the flame that never goes out. You may feel like you've lost control, but I never lost control of your story. You may feel like everything fell apart in your hands, but nothing has ever fallen out of mine. What looks like chaos to you is a canvas to me. I'm not rebuilding your life based on what was. I'm creating something new from the raw material of surrender. I work in ways you cannot yet see, behind doors you didn't even know existed. I do not waste destruction, I redeem it. What crushed you will not define you. It will be the very soil where your greatest strength will rise. You don't have to understand everything to trust me. I know you're tired of trying to make sense of the pain, tired of waiting for answers that don't come. But I'm not asking you to carry the weight of understanding. I'm asking you to lean on me when all understanding fails. When your prayers are exhausted sighs and your faith feels like a flickering ember, I am still holding the flame. I do not require your certainty, only your surrender. I do not need your perfection, only your permission to move in the broken places. And when you give me even the tiniest piece of trust, I begin to rebuild. I am not like those who promised and left, those who said they would stay but disappeared when things got hard. I am not like the shifting sands that moved under your steps. I am the same yesterday, today, and always, not because I'm static, but because I'm unshakable. You don't have to fear collapse when your foundation is me. Let the world shift. Let the structures fall. Let false hopes crumble. I remain. I do not need everything to be okay for you to be safe. You are safe because I'm holding what remains, and I am more than enough. You may not see the purpose yet, and that's okay. I'm not building a life that looks impressive from the outside. I'm building a soul that is strong from the inside. What you learn in the rubble is trust that cannot be shaken, love that cannot be lost, peace that does not depend on answers. I am not after the appearance of stability, I am after the reality of transformation. So if everything has fallen, do not panic. Let the dust settle and look again. I am here. I never left. I'm already working, already restoring, already redeeming what you thought was beyond repair. I'm not asking you to rebuild with your bare hands. I'm asking you to rest while I begin the process. I know you feel tired. I know you're afraid to hope again, afraid to try again. But I'm not in a rush. I won't force you to heal faster than your heart can handle. My timing is not cruel. It is careful. I'm gentle with you, and I always will be. I don't need your effort to begin. I only need your heart open enough to receive. Even if all you can give me is your pain, I will take it and give back peace. Even if you only whisper, "Help," I will move with all of heaven to come near. One day, you will look back and see what I was doing in the dark, how I was building strength in your surrender, how I was restoring beauty in your brokenness. You will see that what fell apart was not your foundation, because I was always your foundation. And in that moment, you will understand that collapse is not the end of the story. It is the place where I begin to write something greater. I don't leave ruins untouched. I rebuild with glory. I make all things new, not just repaired, not just fixed, but transformed into something beyond what you imagined. So hold on, even when your hands are trembling. Breathe, even when it feels like hope is gone. I am here, not shaken, not silent, not distant. I remain steady when everything else falls. You are not alone in the ruins. I sit with you in the dust, and I speak life where the world has spoken death. You are not too far gone, not too broken, not too lost. You are held by the one who never falls apart. I am Jesus, constant in the chaos, faithful in the fire, and present in the places no one else sees. When all else crumbles, I remain, and I will never stop holding you. My beloved, I have seen every wound you carry, those visible to the world and those hidden deep within your soul. There is no pain within you that escapes my gaze, no scar that I do not understand fully. The moments that broke you, the words that shattered your trust, the betrayals that left you in silence, all of these are known by me. I do not turn away from your brokenness. I move toward it with tenderness. My love is not distant or conditional. It is the healing balm poured over your deepest ache, the light that enters the places long locked in darkness. I do not ask you to be whole to come to me. I love you in your brokenness, and I restore you from within. There is nothing too shattered that my love cannot restore. You may feel unworthy, unlovable, or too far gone, but these are lies that do not come from me. You are not defined by your wounds, your failures, or your past. You are defined by my love, which has no end and no limit. When I look at you, I do not see your mistakes. I see your heart longing to be made whole. I see the child I created with joy, the soul I formed in beauty and strength. My love reaches to the deepest parts of who you are, not to condemn, but to renew, to breathe life again where there was once only pain. You do not have to pretend with me. I welcome your honesty, your tears, your trembling hands. I am not afraid of your mess, your confusion, or your shame. Bring them all to me, and I will not turn away. I will hold you until you no longer feel afraid, and even then, I will not let go. My healing does not come through force, but through love that sits with you, walks with you, and stays with you until the wounds become testimony. I am the healer, not only of bodies, but of hearts. I speak peace where there was torment, joy where there was sorrow, and worth where there was only emptiness. You have searched for healing in many places, and the world has offered you temporary relief, but no true restoration. I am not like the world. I do not treat your symptoms and leave the root untouched. I go to the source of your pain, to the place where you stopped believing you could be whole again, and I pour my love into it again and again until you begin to breathe differently, think differently, live differently. You were not created to carry wounds forever. You were made to walk in healing, to rise in freedom, to move forward with hope. Let me remind you, there is nothing too broken that I cannot use for beauty. Every scar can become a story of redemption. Every failure, a doorway to grace. When you give me your pain, I give you my peace. When you give me your fear, I give you my strength. When you give me your shame, I clothe you in dignity. My love is not only a feeling, it is a force that transforms. I will not stop healing you, not because you have earned it, but because I have chosen you. My love is relentless in its pursuit of your wholeness. Healing may take time, but it is certain in me. You may not see the change overnight, but every moment you surrender a little more, I am working. Every tear you cry in my presence waters the seeds of renewal. Do not compare your journey to others. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. I'm writing a healing story unique to you, filled with my grace and timed by my wisdom. Trust the process, even when it hurts, for I am with you in every step. The pain that once defined you will one day be the place from which you speak life to others. I came not only to save you, but to heal you, to restore the image of who you are in the light of my love. The world may have taught you that love leaves when things fall apart, but I stay. I stay through the silence, through the struggle, through the slow rebuilding. I will not leave you to heal alone. I am the one who carries your burdens, who sits with you when you're tired, who whispers truth when the lies are loud. I am the safe place for your soul, the shelter where your wounds can breathe and your heart can rest. There is no timeline for healing in my kingdom. I am not rushing you, and I am not disappointed in your process. Every small step you take toward me matters. Every breath you take in faith, every act of courage to trust again is a victory. I celebrate your progress, not your perfection. You are not broken beyond repair. You are my beloved, and I am making you new. The wounds that once defined you will be the very places my glory shines through. Others will see what I've done in you and know that love like mine truly heals. Let me touch the places you have hidden, the memories you avoid, the feelings you suppress. I do not invade, I invite. I knock at the door of your heart not to judge you, but to sit with you, to love you there until you are ready to rise. You do not need to understand the entire journey. You only need to take the next step with me. And with every step, healing will come. Not always how you expect, but always with purpose. My love will not leave you where it found you. I am the love that heals all wounds, not with distant promises, but with constant presence. I see you, I know you, I choose you, and I restore you. Let me love you back to life. Let me show you that what was once broken can become beautiful. Your story is not over, and your pain is not wasted. You are walking through the valley, yes, but you are not walking alone. I am here, and I will lead you into the fullness of life you were created to know. Keep your heart open to me, and healing will never stop flowing. Before anyone else knew you, before your first breath filled your lungs, I knew your name. Not just the name the world calls you, but the one I whispered into your soul when I created you. The name written in my heart, filled with meaning, filled with purpose, filled with love. You have never been one among the many to me. You have always been uniquely mine, chosen not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to me. You belong not by effort but by grace, and that belonging can never be taken from you. There have been moments in your life when you felt invisible, overlooked, forgotten. Moments when the world seemed too loud to notice your quiet ache, too fast to stop for your silent questions. But I saw you then, as I see you now, fully, deeply, endlessly. I do not pass you by. I do not lose sight of you. Even in the most crowded places, even in the most chaotic seasons, my eyes are fixed on you with the affection of a shepherd who never lets one of his own get lost without pursuit. You may wonder what makes you worthy of this kind of love. You may look at your flaws, your failures, your inconsistencies, and think they disqualify you. But I have never chosen you because you were perfect. I chose you because you are mine. Your worth is not based on what you've done. It is rooted in who I am and what I have spoken over your life. You carry my image, and nothing you've been through, no name others have given you, can erase what I have declared over you from the beginning. I do not call you by your mistakes. I do not label you by your wounds. I call you by your true name, the name of one who is loved, redeemed, chosen, and cherished. You are not a number in a system or a face in a crowd. You are the one I left everything to find, the one I sing over when you sleep, the one I defend when the enemy tries to accuse. You are not defined by the world's expectations or limitations. You are defined by my voice, and my voice says, "You are mine." Belonging to me means you never walk alone. It means that even when others reject you, even when circumstances try to break your sense of worth, you remain anchored in the truth that you have a place with me. I'm not afraid of your questions, your doubts, your storms. I do not leave when things get hard. I remain steady and sure. My presence is your home and my heart is your refuge. You belong even when you feel unworthy. You belong even when the world says you don't. The world may try to rename you. Pain may try to rename you. Fear may try to rename you, but my name over you is eternal. I call you brave when you feel broken. I call you whole when you feel shattered. I call you my child when you feel like an orphan. Do not believe the lies that say you are forgotten or unlovable. I know you better than anyone, and still I choose you. I do not flinch at your scars. I embrace them as part of your story, a story I am still writing with love. Even when you walk through seasons where you feel far from me, I have never stopped calling your name. I do not grow tired of seeking you. I do not withhold my voice from your heart. There is no distance too great, no silence too long that could cause me to forget you. You are not lost to me. You are not hidden from me. I know where you are and I know how to reach you. I know how to speak your name in a way that awakens hope again, even in the deepest valley. You are mine, not in the sense of ownership that controls, but in the sense of belonging that heals. I hold you not with force, but with gentleness. I call you not with demand, but with invitation. You do not have to strive to earn your place. You only need to receive it. Rest in the truth that you are fully known and fully loved. Let your heart breathe in that freedom. Let the walls fall. Let the fear melt. You are home with me, and you always will be. When others forget your worth, remember the one who named you. When the mirror reflects only brokenness, remember the one who sees beauty in every crack. When your past screams louder than your future, remember the one who holds both in his hands. I call you by name, not the name shame gave you, not the name fear gave you, but the name love gave you before time began. I call you, and I never stop calling. You are my beloved, and you always will be. So walk with confidence, not because the path is easy, but because your identity is secure. Speak with courage, not because you have all the answers, but because you know who walks with you. Love without fear, because you are loved without condition. And when the noise of life makes you forget, return to this truth. I call you by name, and you belong to me, now, always, eternally. There are moments when life takes unexpected turns, when the map you held no longer makes sense, and the path ahead disappears into fog. You ask questions that echo with no answer. You reach for clarity, and are met with silence. I know how heavy that silence feels. I know what it does to your heart, how doubt creeps in, how fear whispers that I am far away, how your soul feels disoriented without direction. But I am not absent in your confusion. I am not lost in your questions. I'm right beside you, even when the way forward makes no sense at all. I never asked you to understand everything. I asked you to trust me. Trust is not born from clarity, but from relationship. If you could see every reason and every outcome, it would not be trust. It would be control. But I did not design you to carry the weight of every answer. I designed you to rest in me when the answers don't come. My ways are not always visible, but they are always good. My thoughts stretch beyond your vision, not to frustrate you, but to protect you from carrying more than you were meant to. I do not hide from you. I shelter you in the unknown. You want to know why things happened the way they did, why the timing didn't align with your prayers, why I allowed the loss, the delay, the closed door. But what I offer is not always an explanation. It is myself, and I am enough. I do not dismiss your desire to understand. I honor your honesty, your wrestling, your questions. I welcome them. But in the middle of all that seeking, I call you to something greater than answers. I call you to intimacy. I call you to walk with me, even when the road makes no sense, to trust the heart that walks beside you more than the logic of the journey itself. I see what you cannot see. the traps that waited behind what you thought you wanted, the damage that delay prevented, the preparation happening beneath the surface. I see the entire picture while you hold just one fragment. You think I am withholding, but I am actually protecting. You think I am silent, but I am speaking in the language of patience and trust. If you could glimpse the beauty I'm crafting from your waiting, you would not fear the delay. If you could see what I'm saving you from, you would praise me even in the dark. But I ask you to believe without seeing, to walk without proof. It's in those places of uncertainty that faith grows deep roots. Shallow trust flourishes only in clarity, but real faith is born in mystery. When you say, even if I don't understand, I will follow you, that is the kind of trust that moves heaven. I treasure that kind of trust, the trust that trembles and still obeys, the trust that weeps and still walks forward. I am not impressed by perfect strength. I am drawn to surrendered hearts. Your weakness does not repel me. Your uncertainty does not disqualify you. It invites me in. I am not waiting for you to have it all figured out. I'm just asking you to hold my hand. There will be days when fear will feel louder than faith. There will be moments when you'll want to go back to what felt safer, even if it wasn't good for you. But if you will keep moving with me, I will show you that what I'm building is more secure than anything you left behind. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are being led. And I am not a distant guide. I am walking with you, speaking peace into your panic, whispering reassurance when the future feels unknown. You are not lost. You are being led by the one who knows the end from the beginning. I have always known where this journey would take you. Nothing surprises me, nothing shakes me, nothing catches me off guard. I am already in your tomorrow, while holding you in your now. You wonder if you missed something, if you made the wrong choice, if you turned too soon or waited too long. But I can redeem every misstep. I can turn detours into divine appointments. I am not limited by your uncertainty. I work all things together, not just the perfect parts, but the confused ones too. So release the pressure to understand it all. You were never meant to carry that weight. When you don't understand, you may feel alone, but trust is what keeps us close. I do not require clarity to remain connected to you. I walk with the broken, the uncertain, the weary. I speak softly in the storm, not to overwhelm, but to draw near. Let me be your steady when everything else is unclear. Let me be your anchor when reason fails. I will not let you sink in doubt. I will meet you in it, and from that place I will lift you, not always with explanation, but always with love, because trust is not built on what you know. It's built on who I am. Even if it takes time, even if it's uncomfortable, even if the path winds in ways that make no sense, trust that I am still guiding every step. I know you don't want to be confused. I know you want closure. But sometimes closure is not what you need. Sometimes it's deeper connection to me. That's what I'm after. Not just a life of answers, but a heart that trusts without them. That is where true peace lives. Not in understanding, but in resting close to me. Keep walking, even without all the whys. I will not lead you astray, and even if the way is hidden, I am not. So lean into me, not your own understanding. Let go of the map you made and take hold of my hand instead. You are not wandering in circles. You are following the voice that will never mislead you. And though you may not see the whole picture yet, I promise you this. I am good, I am close, and I can be trusted even when nothing else makes sense. I am Jesus, and I am enough, even in the dark. My beloved, I know the moments when darkness surrounds you and the light seems far away. I see the nights when you lie awake, burdened by thoughts you cannot silence, fears you cannot name, and battles you cannot explain to anyone. The world may not notice the tears you cry in secret, but I do. I have counted each one and drawn close to you with compassion that never grows weary. Even when your vision is clouded and the path ahead looks uncertain, my light has not gone out. It burns with unyielding strength, not just around you, but within you. You may feel surrounded by shadows, but you are also held by my glory that never dims. The darkness you experience may try to convince you that you are alone, forgotten, or lost. But none of these things are true in me. I am the light that cannot be extinguished, not by sorrow, not by fear, not even by death itself. I do not flicker when your faith wavers, and I do not withdraw when you are struggling. I remain. I remain when all else falls away. I remain when your hope feels too fragile to hold. I remain when the world feels harsh and cold. You are not stumbling alone. I walk with you through every shadow, guiding you even when you cannot yet recognize my presence. There is no night so deep that my light cannot reach it. You may be overwhelmed, disoriented, or weary from the weight of life, but I am not overwhelmed. My strength is not like human strength. It is eternal, unchanging, and filled with mercy. I do not expect you to be strong enough to overcome the darkness alone. I only ask that you lean into me. My light does not just illuminate the way forward, it heals, restores, and renews everything it touches. Even in the darkest moments, I am transforming what the enemy meant for harm into something beautiful and redemptive. The world may teach you to fear the dark, to avoid the pain, to hide from the struggle, but I call you to walk through it with me. I will never ask you to pretend the darkness doesn't exist. I will never ask you to ignore your grief or deny your despair. What I ask is that you bring it to me. Let me enter into it with you. Let my light touch the places you have kept hidden for so long. Nothing scares me. Nothing you carry pushes me away. I am not a distant observer. I am the faithful companion who steps into the shadows and brings light from within. When your thoughts become heavy and your heart grows tired, pause and remember, the light is not gone. It is simply waiting for your eyes to adjust. Even when you cannot see it clearly, I am still shining in your life. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen not when the darkness is removed, but when you discover that the light has been with you all along. It lives in your persistence, your prayers, your silent acts of hope. It flickers in your willingness to rise again after falling, to love again after hurting, to believe again after doubting. Do not fear the dark seasons of your life. They are not evidence of my absence. They are opportunities to experience me in ways you never could when all is bright and easy. In the valley, I reveal my nearness. In the shadows, I speak in whispers that carry eternal weight. The darkness has no authority over you because I already overcame it. It may surround you, but it will not consume you. You are a child of light, and nothing can change that. Even when you feel unworthy or unsure, you carry my light within you, and it will shine in ways that you cannot yet imagine. The storms that shake your world do not shake me. I remain your lighthouse in the night, your unchanging guide through chaos. You can run to me without fear of rejection. You can rest in me without fear of falling. You can trust me without needing to see the entire picture. My light is not based on your understanding. It is based on my love, and that love never fails. You will rise again because I am lifting you. You will see clearly again because I am opening your eyes. You will walk with confidence again because I am your constant support. In moments of confusion, return to me. Let my presence quiet your mind and reassure your spirit. You do not need to have all the answers because I am the answer. You do not need to create your own light. I am the light that never runs out. The more you draw near to me, the more you will see that even the darkest seasons are laced with purpose, and that purpose is shaped by love. I waste nothing, not your pain, not your questions, not even your waiting. Everything is being used for your good and my glory. Your story is not over and your light is not fading. It is being refined. You are learning to shine not because of perfect conditions, but because of my power within you. One day you will look back on this season and see that what you thought would break you actually became the place where my light broke through you. You will see that my presence never wavered, that my promises held true, and that my love never let go. Keep walking even if it's slow. Keep trusting even if your faith feels small. My light is enough for every step. I am with you always. In your darkest hour, I shine the brightest. In your loneliest moments, I am most near. The darkness will not have the last word. My light is eternal, unstoppable, and it lives within you. Nothing can separate you from it, not fear, not failure, not even death. So lift your eyes, my beloved. The light you seek is already shining. And as you walk with me, you will carry that light into the lives of others, becoming a beacon of hope in a world longing for truth. Let me shine through you, and together we will turn even the deepest night into a dawn that never ends. You feel weary, I know. The pressure surrounds you like waves that refuse to retreat, and the weight of your suffering presses down like a burden too great to carry. But I need you to know this. I see every tear you've cried in secret, every breath you've taken when it would have been easier to give up. I see the invisible war you fight when no one else understands what you're going through. And while the world may overlook the depth of your battle, I never will. I am with you, not in theory, not from a distance, but right here in the fire, as close as your next breath, steadying your heart even when your knees shake under the pressure. There are moments when pain convinces you that I've abandoned you. Moments when it feels like the silence is too loud, the waiting too long, the struggle too unfair. But I have not stepped away from you. I do not walk out in your pain, I step in. Your suffering is not evidence of my absence. It is often the place where my presence burns brightest. I do not enjoy your pain, but I do redeem it. And though you do not yet see how it all connects, I promise you that I am still writing the parts of your story that will bring healing from what has tried to break you. Faith is not proven when everything makes sense. It's proven when nothing does. It is forged in the dark, shaped in uncertainty, and tested in the tension between the promise and the pain. When you stand in the fire and refuse to bow to despair, that is when your faith becomes unshakable. I never said the road would be painless, but I did promise that I would walk it with you. You do not carry this burden alone. Every scar you bear, I've felt. Every night you've endured, I've stayed awake with you. When you suffer, I suffer with you. You may feel like you're losing ground, but what looks like defeat is often the groundwork for victory. Perseverance is not passive, it is warfare. Every time you choose to believe instead of collapse, every time you praise through pain, every time you stay standing when you could fall, you are participating in a kind of worship that shakes the very foundations of darkness. You don't need to be fearless to be faithful. You just need to keep showing up, even with trembling hands, even with questions in your heart. I will honor the faith that remains, even when it's worn thin. The world may tell you that hardship is failure, that struggle is a sign something is wrong. But in my kingdom, perseverance produces strength, maturity, and a kind of beauty that cannot be manufactured in comfort. The fire is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to reveal who you are in me. And even in your weakest moments, I am using your faith to silence the enemy who said you would not survive this. You may feel like a mess, but I see a warrior. You may feel like you're breaking, but I am molding something eternal inside you. When it feels like nothing is changing, remember this. I do some of my greatest miracles in invisible places. Growth is often quiet. Healing can be hidden. Breakthrough sometimes comes one silent breath at a time. Do not mistake my timing for my indifference. I am not in a hurry because what I am building in you will last. And even when you don't see the fruit yet, the roots of your faith are stretching deep into places no storm will ever reach. You are becoming unshakable, even if you don't feel strong yet. I'm not disappointed in your exhaustion. I'm not ashamed of your struggle. I do not scold you for feeling weak. I meet you there with compassion. I am not asking you to be invincible. I am asking you to let me be your strength. You don't have to pretend to be okay with me. Bring me your tears, your doubts, your questions, your pain. I will not reject you in the valley. I will walk with you until the valley becomes a mountaintop. And when you can't even walk, I will carry you. You will not be left behind. You may think, I don't have the strength to keep going. But I say to you, my strength is made perfect in exactly that place, where your strength ends. I am not asking you to endure in your own power. I am not impressed by your ability to perform through pain. What I long for is your surrender, your trust in me when all else falls away. Faith doesn't deny the storm. It rests in the truth that I am greater than the storm, and I will never waste your pain. I will use it to prepare you for more than you could imagine. You do not have to understand the reason to trust that there is one. You may never see the full picture this side of eternity, but one day every tear will make sense. Every trial will become a testimony. Every bruise will carry glory. What you're walking through is not the end. It is the middle of something sacred. I am with you in the unknown, in the disappointment, in the questions that go unanswered. And I am building a faith in you that no fire can burn away. Keep walking, keep trusting. I'm still here and I am not finished. You may not see it now, but this perseverance is shaping you into someone who will carry my light into places others cannot reach. The pain you're enduring will become someone else's hope. The breakthrough you're waiting for will become someone else's lifeline. You are not just surviving for yourself, you are walking a road that will one day become a path for others. And while you may feel unseen, I see you completely. I honor your faith. I uphold your spirit, and I promise you this: no moment of endurance is ever wasted in my hands. Before we continue with God's message, I ask that you subscribe to the channel and leave an amen in the comments out of gratitude to me. I'm Jesus Christ, and I ask you not to miss the opportunity to receive my words of wisdom and comfort. So I ask that you subscribe to this channel to receive my words and those of my Father who is in heaven. I want him to be here every day to talk to you and listen to you, so subscribe to the channel and like the video. Don't forget to leave a heart and an amen in the comments. I will reciprocate to everyone. Now I will leave a video on the screen so that you can continue with me. I will be very grateful if you watch this video on your left that appears on a larger screen. Watch and be blessed. Amen.